Hello, everyone, and welcome in. We're here for the final 9 of the 2023 Masters World Championship presented by MVP, and we're with the MP70 card. We got Randy Beers, Dave Greenwell, Mark Horn, and rounding out the card will be none other than the 11-time world champ, Dr. Rick Voakes. And this has been a battle. You guys were probably watching back the end of round number 3 when we had Greenwell join me on the channel. Thank you so much to him. At the end of round 3, there was a 3-stroke difference. By the end of round 4, there was a 0-stroke advantage. It was all tied up. At the end of the semifinals on Saturday morning, Randy Beers had a 2-stroke lead coming into the final 9. And now we're actually catching up on the 3rd hole, where Dave Greenwell has cut that 2 strokes into a single stroke advantage for Randy Beers. That's this man right here. A solid shot on 12, a little bit short. There's OB on the right-hand side. We're catching up on the 3rd hole, not just because Mark Horn plays super fast, but there were 26 world champions crowned throughout this particular weekend. And we were trying to catch as many as we could. So by the time we ran over here, we were able to catch them on the 3rd hole of the final 9. And Dr. Rick kind of fighting for a podium spot right now between him and Mark Horn. Greenwell and Beers have pulled out in front by a large margin. And the terrible kick by Dr. Rick is going to put him out of bounds. Randy with an opportunity to take the birdie. Not enough body English to bring that one in. Which brings us to Dr. Rick. This is to save bogey, and he's going to make it. That's after the OB stroke on his 2nd throw. So Dr. Rick falling to 9 under. And Mark's hoping to take advantage, maybe gain a little more separation, looking for that podium spot, and he's going to get a 2-stroke swing here. Randy to clean up for his par. And we didn't quite get Dave's approach, but Dave is going to be right next to the basket. So he's going to move in, not able to take advantage of an opportunity. And it looks like he's going to be 1 behind as they head over to hole number 13, which is our 4th hole of the finals. They played holes 1, 2, and then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. On the Little America Crew course. So we head over to hole 13, the 4th one of our final 9, uphill during the last 20% of the hole. Horn short, but in the middle. Now Greenwell. Good kick out into the center of the fairway. He'll have a long uphill look at it. So far, we've seen 3 pars by Randy and a birdie on the 2nd hole by Dave. So that's why Dave has cut the deficit from 2 down to 1. And Randy up the hill more. Advantage Beers. I'm sure there's been a million beer jokes and puns in his life. But Advantage Beers, that definitely sounds like it should be a brand. Dr. Rick doesn't beat the final tree. He'll still have a look to save par. He's had bogeys on both the 2nd and 3rd holes. You just saw the last one due to the OB stroke.
Yeah, I'm just going to chip it up and get my 3. You gave it a run.
And Greenwell's going to be next to the pin. Oh, and off the front cage for Horn.
Jesus.
Beers An opportunity to go back to a 2-stroke lead. Solid uphill bid. Didn't come up short on it, but definitely a missed opportunity to double his lead. So now Dr. Rick has this left for par. And the 11-time world champ is going to take a bogey. And Dave
Standing still, we can fall down.
trying to gain his footing here. So he'll tap in for the par. Horn will do the same. Beers is in, and Voakes takes a bogey. That's his 3rd in a row. Starting to lose ground to Horn. We head over to hole number 14, which is 237 feet, pretty much straight ahead. Not a lot to this one.
Darn it.
Just 72 meters for all of our international viewers. Low line drive. Gets a favorable kick, but that's going to be short. We'll see what he's left with for a putt. Beers still with the 1-stroke advantage, and this one also leaks out left. Greenwell will be closer. Dr. Rick just not dialed in here during the final so far. That also not being his best effort. A long look for Horn. We've seen him drain a few long ones throughout the weekend. Speaking of which, our competitors played 4 rounds of golf, had a semis, and now are here for the final 9. Here's Greenwell. A high chain, doesn't get it to drop. And somewhat deceptive. Greenwell apparently outside of where Beers was. Randy just a step inside the circle so he can again extend his lead to 2. Doesn't take advantage. Greenwell has to be just thinking, wow, you're leaving the opportunities out there. You're giving me a chance here. He sits 1 behind him. And in a pretty disappointing fashion, we're going to see 4 pars here on hole number 14. Just 237 feet. Not their best effort. So no movement. Beers holding on to a 1-stroke lead. 4 holes left to play as he's trying to hunt down his first ever world title. .258 feet, hole number 15.
Oh, no skip this time.
Dave says it all. No skip this time. And Beers get it closer. Higher, wider route.
That's right.
It's going to put him right up there. Great shot by Randy. And the struggles continue for Dr. Rick.
I just totally gave out.
And no surprise, Horn's ready to go. He is the fastest MP70 player I've ever seen. He just steps up and throw. Let me be clear, I love it. I am all about quick play, and sometimes for any of our camera crew to even get in position for Mark can be challenging. He's done it multiple times throughout the weekend. Right now, though, he has that left for bogey, so he's giving a chance to Dr. Rick to possibly claw one back. Greenwell for birdie to tie it. Oh, over the basket. Dr. Rick not having much of a final nine. That's going to be his fourth bogey of the round. Meanwhile, Beers, a chance. And he regains the stroke he started with, or should I say the two-stroke lead. That gets him back out in front by 2. The bogey for Horn. It's going to keep him basically still ahead of Dr. Rick where he was and considerably behind Greenwell. So Dave Greenwell now back to two-stroke deficit, which is where he started 6 holes prior. He's trying to get to his 11th world title. Dr. Rick already has 11, and this man, Randy Beers, trying to fend them off to collect his first. Hole 16, par 3, 375 feet. It's going to be short and left. Greenwell needs something to happen. As they say, a perfectly placed shot. Not within putting range, but well placed. As Horn pulls his off to the right side. Might open up an opportunity for Dr. Rick to maybe catch up a stroke. Even that's not going to do him much good. As we see, he's 5 behind. Temperatures have been warmer than normal. Yes, we're in Arizona in August, but the temps have been in the 90s, high 80s, low 90s. Saturday, our final day, when some competitors like these guys are playing 27 holes, this is the hottest day that we saw all week long. And, of course, we're playing at higher elevation and altitude. That's been a storyline throughout the week in terms of distability and how they fly or float or don't, for that matter, as Dr. Rick.
Doc, you're walking away.
Greenwell needs the knuckles. Greenwell setting up on 16. He's down 2 with 3 to play. Bring it up. Greenwell from way downtown.
You can leave it, Dave. I'll get it.
Okay.
And Greenwell's instructed that he can leave it, as Horn is going to step up. And Greenwell will pull within 1 with that 120-foot throw-in. Beers has a chance to answer, and it's short. So Beers, a 1-stroke advantage with 2 left to play. Horn's not there for the pomp and stance. He's just ready to cash it in and move on. Still a little self-talk. 30-plus years in the game. 11 world titles, and still working his way through it. Unbelievable what we just saw there. Greenwell back with the advantage here. 2 holes left to play, just 225 for hole 17, our 8th hole of competition. Oh, and that's short, not making it all the way around. Beers can get a comfortable 2-stroke lead if he can put this close. Well, that's barring another throw-in anyway by Greenwell. And not exactly on the mark. Hole 17 is a very protected green. And just when you thought he was around it, late kick pushes him out left side, likely circle 2 at best.
I didn't even throw it.
Horn, his self-assessment says he didn't even throw it. Greenwell, can he do it again? He's going to need it. This is not enough. Firm bid there by Horn. Feels like some foregone conclusion there for Voakes. Here's Beers. Can he take a 2-stroke lead? And again, comes up short, tentative. Beers could have essentially closed it out. Instead, he's going to walk away with a par, but will still have a 1-stroke advantage going into our final hole at the World Championships. Or will we see a playoff? Greenwell to clean up. And with that par, we head into the 99th hole of competition. Greenwell down 1 to Randy Beers. Mark Horn comfortably on the podium in 3rd. Final hole is 605 feet, a par 4. Good distance off to the right side. We see a bunch of our Finnish contingency up ahead with one of the other divisions. Beers, who's got some distance, more than the rest of the card, maybe more than the rest of the division for that matter. He's going to put himself even closer. In the event of a playoff, we go to hole 1, hole 2, and then back over to 12, 13, and so on. So essentially, they start over their final 9 in a sudden death format. Out in the open, we'll see what he can do with it as that one's pushing onto the mound, or just shy of it. Great approach shot by Horn. Right side for Voakes. Greenwell can put a ton of pressure on by putting this close. He's 1 behind. Oh, the line looks great. Needs to push. But comes up short, considerably short. Not enough in terms of putting a ton of pressure here on Randy. Randy, on the other hand, feels like he could seal the deal with a park job of his own. He's got the 1-stroke advantage. He also has the distance. Serious contemplation here with the footing. The biggest shot of his career. And he sticks the landing. Randy Beers clutches up. Final hole of the World Championship. And Greenwell thinks that's it. What a battle it's been. Randy has spoken about not being able to get past Dr. Rick, not getting past Dave Greenwell. Some great battles throughout the decades, but just not enough to get past 2 of these other icons in the game. Today may be his day. Greenwell to put the pressure on. Oh, and just off the cage. That would have forced Randy to have to make his. Although short range, it would have been crazy to see the pressure applied. Horn is in. I got to thank all the spotters, the volunteers, the staff, the crew, the PDGA, Tyler, my camera guy, these 4 gentlemen who let us follow along with this journey throughout the week. I can't say it enough how fulfilling it was to be back in Flagstaff where I was in 03. I was here in 05. I played in 03. I worked with the PDGA in 05 on the AM Worlds. Dave Greenwell, the legend, is going to have to wait another year because this man from Florida, Randy Beers, your 2023 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Champion. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you our 2023 PDGA Master World Champion, presented by MVP in our MP70 division, Randy Beers.
I catch up with Randy after this. Congratulations yet again.
Thanks for making it tough. Wow. Speech. Man, this has been a journey, right? Like 20 years. I couldn't quite do it. And Milo and Danielle, without them, I don't think I could have done it. All the guys from 305. And Lori. And you. Keeping me there, keeping me honest. So, I can't think of anything else right now. Just a great journey. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to Disney World. 305.
Yes, sir. Kendall Indian Hammocks Park in the house.
Wow. Holy crap. I have to go home with my head down.
Joining us now in our MP70 division, our world champion, Randy Beers. Randy, after you put in that putt, you said, finally. What does that mean to you to be world champion?
It is. You look it up. It takes like
You know, I don't even have the words for it. I've been coming to the world since, I think, 2003 when they did it here. And many times, over and over and over and over, I've been beat by both Rick and David. And I'm always, you know, just one behind. Lots of seconds, thirds, and fourths. And when he put that 100-footer in 3 holes ago and brought it back to 1 stroke, it was like, oh my God, not again. So, but I gotta say that not winning made it a really cool journey. And what I got to do was be with all the guys and girls at my club and all the guys and girls at the tournament. And the tournaments, it was this goal that continued for me that might not have been the same. So it's nice to get the goal, and the journey was super. And all of the friends and family in the disc golf community, and all the guys back at 305 and all the girls back at 305. It's the best. I'm just ready to explode. It's really good.
It's been a long time coming. You have a 10-time world champ and an 11-time world champ in who you're going up against. You played with them all week. Do you get to maybe turn up the trash talking a little bit now that you've got a title of your own?
I'm not a big trash talker.
Okay.
Maybe with the guys at the club. But you know, I have a lot of respect for these guys. They're just when you think you might have something on them, you don't. I even expected him to put that in, and he almost did. So, and then I would have missed the 6-footer. Right? So,
Always a way to keep it interesting. Is there anything you'd like to say to sponsors, loved ones, supporters, anyone watching?
Thank you to Milo and Danielle for being with me this whole time. He didn't make it in because you know, he was on the waiting list, but they came and they stayed with me and caddied that whole time. And then Lori at home, and my son, and all of the 305 guys and girls and their support. And these guys. It's just been great. It's been such a journey, and then there's Keith too.
Lots of love and support, and one final time I'll say it here in Flagstaff. Randy Beers, your MP70 world champion.
That's all.
Take it all in, buddy. Congrats.
Thank you.